After years of smoking meats and doing backyard barbecues, Brandon Close has his own barbecue sauce called Chipper Dog BBQ. I talked one-on-one with Brandon about his own barbecue sauce for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Brandon Close, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Needless to say, you are the founder and CEO of Chipper Dog BBQ, which is a premier barbecue sauce that was created here in Charleston. In fact, you say in your website, quote, fall in love with our take on the Southern staple, barbecue style sauce, Chipper Dog style. Trust us on this one. It's doggone good.
Yeah. So we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary in April.
Wow.
We launched with our mustard sauce, which we had that almost exclusively for a year. And then we've launched 2 other products since then, a Chicago style red and a dry rub, and a little, I guess this is our announcement to the world. We're going to launch 2 new sauces as well this year, a spicy mustard and a Kansas City spicy red sauce. So yeah, we just got the testing back on those. So we should have them here soon, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Why those 2 sauces? Why now?
Well, so we're right at the end of this brand relaunch as well. So you're going to see some new labels from us. And in that process, we did a bunch of research, and something like 78% of people prefer spicy barbecue. And both of our sauces were on the sweeter spectrum. So we wanted to reach out. You know, when we launched, our philosophy was always, you can add spice to a sauce, you can't take it out. So, but now that we've grown and our brand is bigger and we have more awareness, it's time to launch those new sauces.
Wow. What is that awareness, Brandon, about barbecue sauce?
Oh, man, I don't know. Everybody loves it. But we found when we were doing, we would do festivals. We've done Seaweed. All of these people come up, and the first question out of their mouth was, what's your spiciest one? And, we always said, well, we don't have one right now. But, and when we were in the lab, taste testing these and everything, we didn't blow your taste buds off. They're spicy. When I was making them, I was crying. I'm not going to lie. And then I give them to friends, and they're like, oh, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was the heat or like the vapors in the air that were getting to me or whatever, or I'm a big baby. I don't know. But, they're well balanced. They do have some heat to them. But there's also some other flavors there. It's not just hot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Before those particular 2 sauces that you're about to roll out for your company, which other sauces that you and your team were thinking about rolling out with?
So we've done a few little like one-offs. We did a cranberry sauce around the holidays. We've played around with a peach barbecue sauce. I've been trying to do a sugar-free one. And we actually sent that away for testing too, and it came back with more sugar. It came back with sugar in it, and it's because tomatoes naturally have sugar in it. So I don't think we're ever going to get to a no sugar barbecue sauce. But I think we might have to label it a reduced sugar barbecue sauce. So
there you go. Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
In those particular tastes that you and your team have done, Brandon, what have you discovered more about barbecue sauce?
Just the little regional notes, we launched into 10 stores in Texas, which is huge for us. It's awesome. We're in Central Market, and they're in all the major metropolitan areas in Texas. And so I've been doing a little deeper dive into Texas barbecue and some research, and I need to get out there and really like taste it and see it, and hopefully interview some pit masters out there. Is my goal, is to, really find out the techniques on how Texas barbecue is done. It's this wild journey that I started 5 years ago, and Carolina barbecue, everybody does barbecue a little different. It's all smoking over wood chips or logs or even charcoal, and you try to keep it at 250 degrees, but outside of that, it's different. Carolinas are known, even in, you hold it in apple cider vinegar and some spices, and North Carolina and northern South Carolina eat it like that. We put mustard sauce on ours. The rest of the country usually puts a tomato sauce on there, so but there's that basis, and then it grows from there on what kind of wood you use, how long you smoke it, what type of meat you're smoking, so open fire versus not open. It's interesting and it's fun, and the more I dive, the more I learn, and it's like I said, just all these little regional pockets that do it just a little different. The technique itself, the main technique's the same, but
Yes.
everything that goes into it after that is different.
And Brandon, you talk about those regional pockets. Obviously, when you look at the map right now, Nashville, Tennessee is on the rise as one of the barbecue capitals, just like here in
Yeah.
Charleston.
Yeah.
Where, as far as you and your team, what other cities are you looking at seeing those particular areas being the next barbecue capitals?
Man, that's a big question, because it's really regional more than city. But yeah, um, Charleston, you look back 20 years ago and it was Memphis and it was Kansas City, and that was
Yes.
about it. People knew Texas,
Right.
but it was a little different. And some people knew Carolinas did barbecue, but it wasn't known. You're too mega, like you're too, I don't know, like
Yeah.
your two meccas
Sure.
were Kansas City and Memphis.
Right.
And then it just exploded, and you're seeing barbecue, and so Carolina, man, as you know, you're in the food and beverage industry as well, and you see an eater and all of the, every single article that comes out that's talking about barbecue, there is a Charleston restaurant named, whether it's Lewis
Yes.
or Rodney Scott or Palmera or Swig and Swine just won an award from one of the beef companies, I believe.
Yes.
Angus beef, I think it was. So like, it's home team as they bring in their awards. So and it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. You think of South Carolina, and you have Sweatman's up in Holly Hill. You have all of these. You have the original Scots up in Hemingway. But you can just look in Charleston and go on a barbecue tour. It is wild. It's great. The city's amazing. Trying to compete in that scape is wild. And you have Bessinger's and Melvin's too. That
Oh, yes.
you they are the OGs. They're the
Yes.
originals of the mustard barbecue sauce. So, um, back to your original question, what cities do I see next? You see everybody's jumping on the train right now, and it could be anywhere. New York and New York's opened up restaurants, and you see these places now moving. Nashville would be a great one. It's funny. There's this corridor, and it's really along the Mississippi River.
Yes.
That kind of has all that Memphis influence, but there's a little restaurant in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, that's won like 3 Memphis ripoffs. So yeah, Chicago has their own style that's not really known right now. I could see that becoming more popular. DC, it's interesting. I couldn't tell you where the next one's going to be because you're seeing it spread out so much.
Oh, yeah.
Out west, everybody's claiming their own little style of barbecue now. So you'll see something catch on, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, I think you need to look at like Palmera, where it's bringing in a little bit of new flavors to it, and I think you're going to see those type of restaurants catch on. And so it's really tough to say. I don't know. The restaurant world is so crazy right now.
Very crazy. Very
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm trying to get the owner of Palmero Barbecue to come on Quintin's post up. So I sent him some emails, but no response yet. But let me ask you, which particular style of barbecue describes you?
What oh man, what describes me? I think I'm a jack of all trades. Really, I do. We of course, mustard sauce, so pulled pork and mustard sauce is kind of describes me. And then I grew up in Illinois, With and it was I've later found out that it was Chicago style. It was wild. I was at the city market. We were selling barbecue sauce, and some guy tried our red sauce, and he's like, "Are you from Chicago?" And I said, "No, just outside of there." And he goes, "Oh, that explains it." And he just walks away. And I wasn't wearing, sometimes I Bears gear on or something, nothing. And so I looked it up, and it describes our red sauce to a T, like Chicago. And I never knew it, even like growing up, I didn't know that. And um, so that as well. Those two are my big influences. The South Carolina barbecue and then the Chicago style. So, um, and I kind of tend to stay in that pocket. I would suppose. I use a lot of the wood I use and the spices and all that kind of stuff. It tends to lean towards those two, but like I said, I want to learn the other styles, the other little intricacies. And that's really all it is. Is intricacies. The main is there. It's like when you go and you learn French cooking, but then you take it and you can add all these little nuances to it.
Yeah. What nuances do you want to add to your barbecue sauce next?
I'd really like to look at the Latin American flavors and see and Caribbean too. Yes, I think a Caribbean style barbecue, and that's really where kind of barbecue started. And in the research I've done is really around Columbus times. When they came over, they were in the islands and saw them smoking meats, and then they brought that here really to the Carolinas and kind of had those techniques. And of course, they say the Kiowa Indians and all that too were kind of smoking, that along those lines too. But that's really, in my research, what I've seen is that back in those colonial times or pre-colonial times, even they were smoking meats. And then during colonial times, South Carolina was settled with a lot of German and French influences. It had the mustard, and that's where mustard barbecue kind of became popular in our area. And then back then, pork was a lot easier to farm rather than cattle. Pork you could just kind of turn loose and go slaughter and grab when you needed, where beef you needed to feed and all of that needed more land. So that's why the Carolinas or the Atlantic region in particular is pork barbecue, and then why Charleston has a lot of mustard based barbecue sauce. So
wow, that is very interesting information.
Yeah, it's really really cool. So you look back on the history of it, but yeah, I think those Caribbean flavors with like some more fruit added to it, whether that's pineapple, mango, whatever that would be. And there's a little different spices. Caribbean jerks are a little different but man, I'm a sucker for jerk chicken. So
I bet. So when you look back at the history of barbecue from when you started to right now, what is the biggest difference?
Oh man, it's been made a lot easier, right? And 20, 30 years ago, whatever it was, when electric smokers came out, it kind of opened up barbecue to more people. And then now Traeger kind of, and all the knockoff Traegers, they've kind of like made it idiot proof, really. You can set it from your phone, you can drop pellets from your app, you can change the temperature right on your phone. It's that's a big difference. It's become popular too. Like I said, if you and I were talking 50 years ago, we maybe wouldn't even know what Chicago barbecue was, or Memphis, Texas, like all of that. You kind of had your regional styles, and that was it. And you didn't really, and you sure as heck didn't know about other parts of the world that had barbecue. So, internet's changed all of that. And you can have a conversation with somebody and learn techniques without even leaving your backyard. So,
what should that conversation, Brandon, be about barbecue next?
Oh man, what should the conversation? What I love about barbecue, and there's a lot of competition in barbecue, and I don't think there should be. Everybody thinks theirs is the best. Well, let's all just sit down with a plate of smoked meat and like talk and have a couple beers or sodas and just have fun. That's what it's all about. That's what I love about it. you could put 8, 10, 12, 20 hours into, this meal and sit down in your backyard with your family and friends. And I think that's when it boils down to, that's what it needs to be. I remember when we first started, and like I said earlier, we just had mustard sauce, and I would go literally like across the state line into North Carolina. Oh, it won't sell here, boy. Come back when you have a red sauce. Which is funny because they drink their vinegar sauce up there anyway. But yeah,
Right.
and then we go and do festivals in North Carolina. We sell 4-1 mustard over red. We won best mustard sauce in North Carolina like 3 years ago. So, it's I understand it. It's fun to like jab back and forth, but at the end of the day, and there needs to be some respect there too. Like I try not to go into a different area and be like, this is what we do. This is the best. No, I want to learn from you. And this is what I want to do in Texas too. Like I want to go and learn from you and see how you do things and learn. And then we can just share ideas. And I think when you do that and go about it respectfully, it's the same way when you're working in a kitchen with another chef. You can learn, you're always learning things. And that's the great thing about kitchen in the culinary world. I don't care who you are. You could be Thomas Keller. You can go into a different kitchen and learn something. So
Yeah, man. So let me ask you this, Dan. Who's Brandon close in the kitchen when preparing barbecue and barbecue sauces?
who am I in the kitchen? I don't know. I'm a little gruff. I know that my wife, when it's because in every chef, every good chef has their timing down to where everything comes out pretty close together. And when it's go time, stay out of my way and just let me do it. But I like to think I'm fun. I like to learn new things. I like to try new things, and very rarely when I'm in the kitchen trying something new is it inedible. It might not be the best. We might have to do it a couple times, but dialing it in. I made curry chicken for the first time the other night, like just trying it out. My kitchen still smells like curry, so I don't know if I'm gonna do it again. But like really, it was like a week. I was so
Wow.
but yeah, just trying new things, learning new things. That's that's what I like to do.
And speaking of the kitchen, a lot of people are going to be in the kitchen this Friday cooking up chicken and barbecue and all this other stuff, ribs, whatnot. So,
Check out Lowe's Foods when you're doing your barbecue. Get some
right,
Chipper Dog barbecue sauce.
that's what I was
Harris
going to
Teeter
get
as
at.
well.
Yeah, and down the street where I live in Publix. But tell me about that. How can we get a hold of your sauce for 4th of July?
So right now, Publix and Harris Teeter. I'm sorry, Lowe's Foods and Harris Teeter are a couple of the stores in town. We're at most of the butcher shops as well. Burbage's Meats over in West Ashley, Heights Meat Market in Mount Pleasant. Um, really, let me see. Oh, Odd Duck Market. We just restocked
Oh,
them
yeah.
up in Park Circle. So,
Right.
yep. You can always order off our website. We're getting a little tight on turnaround time here, but we should be able to get it hopefully to you by Friday. Like they were really pushing it now, but yeah, that's our big thing. We in Charleston we're working on keeping some smaller, specialty stores, and then we're going to start making a really big push for online sales here coming too. So Charleston, you'll always easily be able to get it, but outside of Charleston, we wanted to make it available to you if you're in Walla Walla, Washington, so or Pocatello, Idaho. So really making a big push. We're revamping our whole website. We're changing how we sell a little bit online. So that's our big push. We want to take mustard sauce nationwide.
Nation. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And if the grocery store you shop at does not have it, please, 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 please ask for it because they can get it, and that is the easiest way to get us onto store shelves is ask for it.
Oh, absolutely. I told you I went and bought your sauce as a disclaimer. I bought your sauce a couple of a year or so ago, and it was amazing. We used it for chicken and everything, so that was great. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And one last question for you:
Sure.
How do you sell mustard barbecue sauce with all of this competition today?
There's not a lot of mustard competition, thankfully. It's tough, when the studies say you have 7 seconds on a store. You're Your brand has 7 seconds on the grocery store shelf, and that's if somebody's looking. If somebody goes and wants to buy barbecue sauce, you have 7 seconds to grab their attention off the shelf. It's tough. The grocery store world is insane, and we're just starting to get into it and understand it. And it's wild. And online's the same thing. I mean, how many ads a day do you see for stuff? And it doesn't. Most of them don't even register. It's wild the information that is getting thrown at us on a daily basis anymore. Um, so the things we're trying to do are be creative, be engaging. We're trying to have fun with our brand. We're always dog puns, doggone good and all that kind of stuff. So we make it relatable and just have fun and easy going, and that's what we try to do. But thankfully, on the national scene, there's not a whole lot of Buster Barbecue. When we're trying to sell red sauce, we're competing against 100 different brands. When we're trying to sell mustard, um, man, I tell you, when I unlock that secret, I'll let you know.
Well, I appreciate it in advance.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon Close with Chipper Dog BBQ. Thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back.
Website is
yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Our website is www.chipperdogbBQ.com.
There you go.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Oh yeah, there you go. All things Chipper Dog BBQ. Well, thank you for your time again.
Yep. Thank you, Quintin. I appreciate you. Good to see you.
Likewise.